Welcome to the latest edition of the Wichita Dinner Table. Tonight is Wednesday, December 18th. The whole gang's back. We got the Kansas Gastronomist.
What's up, Eddie?
What's going on? We got DJ Carbon.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? ICT, how you doing?
Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
I got you.
Thanks.
Man,
We got Troy Trussle, live local.
Wake up.
Not
what's
living.
up,
He's sleeping
Wichita?
local.
I was sleeping local there for a second, but
We got Annette Lawless.
Hi there, Wichita. Greetings.
That was the worst introduction ever, all of it.
That was
this
bad.
goes, hey, we
I
just
wouldn't
roll
change
with
a
it,
thing.
right?
We're not
We just
changing a
roll
thing.
with it.
My
Yes.
cheeks hurt already.
We got Stormy's not here with us today. She's actually at the groomers. So
Aw.
Okay.
she's gonna go get trimmed up and cleaned up. This week's hat, we have the Arcade. They are located at 906 East 3rd Street North. What's that I hear? Is that the doorbell? I think we have a
Who
guest.
could it be?
Oh,
Foreshadowing.
who is it?
Derek Sorrells, massive business owner. I think I don't even know what word to use to describe you, Derek, but I feel like Derek owns maybe like 80% of the businesses in Wichita. Do a quick rundown. We got Justice Sip, Papa's Ice Cream Store, Let's Go Build, Sweet and Saucy, Flight 1868, The Arcade. Is there anything else I'm missing, Derek?
Sweet and saucy.
Yeah, we got Sweet and Saucy. That was the
Yeah.
fourth one.
Okay.
I mean, I
That's
ran
okay.
off so many of them. It's hard to,
We're twice as sassy here. Love it.
Yeah.
I'm
So
trying to
good.
keep track of them all myself.
unless there's like a new one you want to announce today, this evening. So
Deep.
No,
none.
No.
absolutely not.
Okay.
That's a great list there. So good, though. So,
Oh, yeah.
what an honor.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, Derek Chessel's about yourself.
Well, been in Wichita since I was 7 years old, and Wichita is just an amazing place. We've got great people here that just love Wichita, most of them anyway. And it's a great place to be a small business owner, and wouldn't have had opportunities to move to other places. And Wichita's home, and that's where I'm going to stay.
Mm.
Absolutely.
So
Great.
what was the first business you owned of all the ones you named?
So Michael Jensen and I, he's my co-owner at the Arcade. We opened the Arcade actually 7 years ago yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Happy anniversary.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I had 52 arcade games in my basement. I'm not a hoarder. I could stop anytime. Michael had about 30, and Michael can fix absolutely anything. And we just decided to open the Arcade because when you have them at your home, it's one of those things where you just don't turn them on very often. And, because you have to have a bunch of people over, and then you have to have food and all those kind of things. So they didn't get played as much. And we really wanted everyone to experience what playing 80s and 90s, arcade games were like. And that was really important to us.
Love it.
And
I
then
love the Arcade. Love
Yeah,
the
the nostalgia is amazing in there.
Oh, yeah.
and you
It's
had
a
the
lot of
original
fun,
location.
It's a lot of fun when people can come in and you see, moms and dads leave with their kids and they say, this is what it was like when I was your age. That's what makes it all worthwhile. And because it's just one flat fee and you can play as much as you want on those classic arcade games, you don't have to worry about paying $30 or $40 per person to get a card to be able to play. Because most people are not as good as they think they are at those old games. No, they remember.
They weren't built to win. They were built to just be difficult as anything back then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They were built to take your quarters.
Oh, yeah.
And for those that have never been, I mean, the Arcade used to be located behind the Brickyard. Was it off of like Mead or Rock Island?
Yeah, it was the old location was right off of Brickyard at 139 North Mead, and we moved last year in May, about 3 blocks north and a block east. To we're at 906 East 3rd Street. We're right at the corner of 3rd and Washington. And at that time, we expanded, added a patio. We also added food and alcohol. We are still a family business, but we do have food and alcohol now. It allows people to be able to come down and play with their kids and also have a beer if they choose to do so on a Friday or Saturday night.
And that
That's
new
perfect.
location, I don't know if anybody's been to the new location. I know most of you have, but
I have.
it's quite massive.
Yeah.
What I love about it is there's so much more like just walking room, and it wasn't so crowded like the original location. I just love the space.
What I think
Yeah,
is so cool, Derek, is like our son, so he's 8, and so we're in this age where we're looking for more creative birthday parties, and like kids his age are now going to your spot to have some, and it's fun for the parents to come too, because then we can all just we're all kids together. So I love it.
yeah, it's always interesting when you'll see like a dad or a mom come in and they'll be bringing their kid to drop off at a birthday party that's not theirs, and they come in and they slowly look around and they're like, I'm going to come back later with my girlfriend or my wife or my husband, because
Yep.
they want to play later. And that's what's really fun about it is a lot of people will come in to drop a child off and they wind up staying and having a good time themselves.
And
Da-
then go on,
Da-
TKG.
I was going to say, Derek, you may or may not know this, but a lot of us foodies have started doing different games, challenges, competitions. And the very first competition challenge was me challenging Troy to skee ball. And
Saw that.
we met up at the arcade and we played best of 3. Troy won one game, fair and square. I
Yep.
won one game fair and square, and then Troy cheated on the third game.
No,
So
we're still
Sounds
talking about
likely.
this. No, I've beat you fair and square. I don't even remember you winning that second game. I think you're making that up. But I'm always open for a rematch, TKG.
Derek, after the arcade, what was next? Was it Sweet and Saucy?
Sweet and Saucy was next. It's down in Delano. We're right next to Milk Float and just down from the Monarch. It's a super super long building that opened in June of 19, and it's just an amazing little eclectic store of a lot of different things. The name came from couldn't decide whether I wanted to open a hot sauce store or a candy store, and I decided to do both. The name Sweet and Saucy came about because we have tons of candy and 400 different hot sauces, barbecue sauces, and salsas, 400 different glass bottles of soda. And then just as a fluke, I decided to add some novelty socks. And when we opened, we had 20 pairs of novelty socks. And now we have over 1,500 different styles.
Wow.
And that was never in the plan. And people will say,
Yeah.
so how does this all go together? And it doesn't at all. But it's the kind of thing when you walk in, it's fun. It's the kind of thing that, small little plug. It's perfect for Christmas because,
Yeah.
socks are great for mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, brother, sister. They're small, they're lightweight. They fit in a stocking. And it's the kind of thing that, most of the candy that we sell, you can't get at Walmart. A lot of it's nostalgic candy. It's fun stuff that you just can't walk in and buy just anywhere. And we have that because, we want to be different. And certainly being in Delano is a little different area. And we love it down there. And that's why it's been a great little fun store.
Awesome.
It is a yearly stop for us for candy and stockings, without fail. Every year at Christmas, if not more. It's more often than just them, but that guaranteed we're getting everybody something from there.
And Troy actually has a YouTube channel that does hot
Right.
sauce challenges.
Yeah,
Oh,
we did
boy.
our first hot sauce challenge actually at the candy store there, Sweet and Saucy.
I remember
and we had Jillian Carroll on the show. She was our first victim. Annette has been our
Jillian's
most
is
recent.
great.
Yeah, Annette was our most recent, but we always go to Sweet and Saucy to stock up on some local hot sauce for sure.
Yeah,
So,
brutal, but
I
good.
think we need to see Carbon on the hot sauce challenge next.
Ooh,
oh yeah,
I'm in.
All right,
No
let's
way.
quickly
Ain't no way.
go with time. Let's quickly go through the other ones real quick. So after that, was it Papa's ice cream
Papa's
store?
was next. The crazy thing is we signed the lease on January 31st of 2020.
Oh.
Oh my
Actually
gosh.
got the building April 1st of 2020. And in those 60 days, the world changed a great deal.
yeah.
But
Never
Papa
heard of it.
started in Clifton Square, which is right next to Flight 1868. But Papa's has been great. We love College Hill and the Clifton Square area down there. It's just a fun little area. People walk there. We get kids from the schools walk after school, families on the weekends. It's a great place to try different things, and we really love it down there.
And then from there, was it Let's Go Build or Just a Sip first?
Let's Go Build was next. I was trying to open a Just a Sip, but I couldn't find a drive-through, and it's for a soda shop you have to have a drive-through. So the our Lego store, Let's Go Build, which is at K96 and Greenwich, right next to Old Navy and close to Total Wine, it was next, and it opened in October of 22. And it's been a lot of fun. You learn a lot about Legos and things that you never know. Anytime you open a business, there's things that you expect to happen, and there's things that you never know are going to happen. And there's a lot of adults that are extremely serious about Legos, and I had no idea that it. I had no idea. And sets that are $800-900 that just kind of blows my mind. But
Oh my gosh.
yeah, but it's a lot of fun too, because you get to see a lot of adults. It's kind of like the arcade in many ways. You get to see adults that collected, and they're bringing their kids in now, and they'll buy like a kit and they'll build together at Christmas. It's really a lot of fun to see that.
I mean, my brother has a multi-$1,000 collection. He's like 2 rooms full of Lego sets. I mean, he has the $500 sets, $800 sets. It's wild. So, and then Just a Sip. There's how many locations of that one?
So Just a Sip started October of last year, and we have 3 locations now. We have 2 out west, 13th and Tyler, 37th and Ridge, and then out east at 21st and 21st and Webb. And then we kind of decided as we were opening these up, we had some extra room because primarily a soda shop is just drive-through only. We had extra room, so we decided to open a Papa's Ice Cream and Treats in both the east location at 21st and Webb and at 37th and Ridge. So both of those are co-branded. So we have both in one building. So you have the best of both worlds.
And then we rounded out with Flight 1868.
Yeah, if anybody ever asks if they should open 4 businesses in a year, I highly do not recommend it. And then Flight 1868 opened as well. That one opened in March of last year. March of this year. I'm sorry, March of this year we opened. It's in Clifton Square, right next to Papa's Ice Cream and Treats, and it's an aviation-themed bar. It seemed appropriate for Wichita to have an aviation-themed bar, and it's a wonderful patio there, and we have first-class seats that are inside and aviation things that are on the wall, including a picture of my mother, who was a flight attendant for Western Airlines way, way back in the day when Western was in existence.
Very cool.
Awesome. Well, Derek, I would thank you for hopping on the dinner table and joining us. It's been fun talking about all these businesses. I mean, when you talk about small businesses, local businesses, I mean, you definitely are like one of the kings of them, I should say, just with everything you do in the city and what you own. So very cool stuff.
Absolutely. I would just say, make sure that, supporting local is much more than just a buzzword. When you support local businesses, you're helping send, a little girl to ballet or a little boy to soccer camp, because those owners live local, and that's what's really important. And we appreciate everything all of you do, and all of those of you that are watching right now. We appreciate all of your business to all of the local small businesses here in the Wichita area.
Awesome, Derek.
Awesome.
Well,
Thanks
you
for
again.
all that you do and provide, man. Seriously, it's much
Thank
appreciated.
you all. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Thank you.
See you, man.
You too.
All right. This past weekend, TKG, you had a pretty busy one.
Yeah, I went to several shows of the Nutcracker, Ballet Wichita's Nutcracker over at Century 2, which was fantastic. And I pretty much go every single year. So went to the Friday night performance and the Saturday night performance. By the way, I went to Lottie as well, and it'd been quite a while since I've been to Lottie before the Friday night show. And I posted about that just yesterday, actually. So, and then we did Station 8. Eddie, I saw you over at Station 8.
I did see you. That was a meat fest to the point where I didn't even want to think about meat. I'm not even going to eat lunch today. I'm actually drinking Apollo Fermentations kombucha. It's a local kombucha, not an ad. I was like, I feel like I got to drink healthy or do something healthy-ish. So I got some bottles, and that was a lot of meat. We got some brisket from Wichita Wagyu,
full blood,
full-blooded Wagyu, and
got the meat sweats that night, huh?
Oh,
it was
a
bad.
good kind of sweat.
It was bad. I don't know if I was actually enjoying the meat sweats. The food was so good, and you just couldn't stop.
Yeah.
It was excellent. Good times.
All right, Troy, you're at
Yeah.
Maze.
So, yeah, I went out to the Maze card show Saturday morning. I took my 4 boys and we went Pokemon hunting because they're really big into the Pokemon cards and everything. The show was really fun. It had a lot of sports cards mostly, but a few Pokemon tables like here and there. So it was fun going hunting for them. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I couldn't believe how many people showed out for that stuff. I hadn't been to a card show. I used to collect baseball cards back in the early 90s and hadn't been to one since then. And it was kind of really nostalgic for me to go back, and actually ran into a few vendors that I actually knew that I had no idea they were in the sports cards collecting. So
No kidding.
it was a lot of fun. It was a cool show.
My
So,
best friend's son has started getting into Pokemon cards, so I've bought some packs from. I went to Wizard Comics, I think it's called Wizard Comics, over in Old Town, and purchased some like gold cards because he was asking for Christmas. And I'm gonna immerse myself in that world, help him out. Troy, quick plug because you're not gonna say it. You have another YouTube channel about Pokemon.
I do. It's called Pokey Dudes, and me and my 4 boys, we rip open packs and we're collecting master sets and all kind of fun stuff. We're actually going to be having a live giveaway on that show in the coming weeks. So if you're into Pokemon,
my son
check out.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
On the other end of things, I hate it so much because there are cards everywhere in our house. And I'm like, I don't know what's valuable or what's not. And then like sometimes like my kid will get they look nice and some other like from a kid on the school bus or something. And I'm like, I don't think we're supposed to have this. This needs to go back to that house. Like, I'm afraid we're going to get in trouble here. So, but we're going to get all of our lessons from you, Troy. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Hit me up. I'm becoming an expert. I'm not there yet, but there are a bunch of fake cards out there.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful if your kid's trading at school if you have real cards, they might come home with some fake ones and that kind of stuff. So
I'm hoping that's what we got. I mean, hopefully he didn't trade anything, but
yeah. Just keep an eye out.
And then, of course, we got Carbon. You always have a busy weekend.
Man, it's holiday season, holiday parties, all the corporate ones, and I love it though. I mean, it's that time of year. Everyone's in good spirits, and getting to deliver on a lot of people getting together in a social environment when they don't normally get to that much. So to be the host of the good times is always a blast. So living that basically after this week, we should start to see the slowdown for a little bit of a reprieve, but then we're right back into it. So.
Is it ever kind of challenging? Like you walk in there and you're like, oh man, these people aren't, like, is that really hard? Like sometimes you're like, to get them going, or you just got that playlist that's just perfect. And you're like, I got my tricks.
Everyone is different. So, I mean, there's a lot of companies where, I host a lot of games to get some different interactions. Some they're like, nope, we just want to party. And, they know their team. Sometimes it's such a big group that everyone feels a little nervous. So everyone's like it's like a Rubik's Cube. I got to solve each one slightly differently of what the approach is. But normally by the end of the night, we get a party going. And, and like I said, some of them are just a little more reserved. But, I had a big one just the other night at Bombardier. A huge event over at the Cotillion, and it was a little bit of a slow start. We played a lot of games. They loved the games, and then but by the end of the night, we had a dance circle going on, and so you always get there. We get there.
All right. I did one thing. I give a shout out to Prairie Pines. We did the little Santa pictures there. This is year 6 for my daughter. This is probably the best year yet. Last year's the first year she did not cry, so we're making progress. And
there you go.
There's definitely a difference between good Santas and bad Santas. We did the Santas over at Prairie Pines, and then PetSmart had a pictures with Santa with the dogs, and we went there probably 2 hours afterwards. And Santa had glasses, just did not have that Santa vibe. Even my daughter was like, "How did Santa get here so fast?" And I had to break it to her. I was like, "This one at PetSmart's not the real one; it's just a pretend one." Because when I saw that Santa, I was like, I can't lie to this kid. I was like, this is not the real one. The one we saw earlier, that was the real Santa. So,
wow.
Shout out to the good Santas out there.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
I remember that movie, Bad Santa.
Yeah.
That
Oh my
yeah, he was like the worst Santa.
Oh, he was like the best Santa. Whatever.
God.
Who was
Poor
the
Santa for
actor? Who was the actor
you.
again? He had
Angelina
three names.
Jolie's ex, Billy
Billy
Bob
Bob
Thornton.
Billy Bob
Thornton.
Thornton.
Billy
Yeah, it's like he
Bob.
had 3 names. I knew that. Okay.
Yep.
Oh
All
my
right.
Yeah.
goodness.
Upcoming events: Wednesday through Sunday, Wild Lights, Citrus County Zoo. Illuminations at Botanicas all week long from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. Tonight is the sold out Wichita by EB dinner series at Station 8 / Christmas party. Ugly sweaters, all the things. We got One Life Spirits. DJ Carbon will be playing the tunes tonight. Troy, I should be seeing you there as well here shortly. So we're going to
Be
have
there.
2 dinners in one: dinner table, dinner series. After that, Thursday through Saturday, the Solstice Spirit Fair at the Cotillion. This is a holiday gift-giving opportunity to meet and acknowledge local and regional crafters, creators, healers, spiritual advisors, readers, and holistic health experts. Then Friday, Winter Ball 3.0 at Brick and Mortar from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. This is a cool event. It's sponsored by Wichita Bonding Company. It's a 100% free event for the entire recovery community of Wichita. You walk in on red carpet, catered dinner, live DJs, photo booths, raffle prizes. Last year they had 500 people in attendance. It's just a good, sober event to make people feel good, dressed up, and have an amazing time. Then on
Nice.
Friday through Sunday at Century 2, it is Chicago, brought to you by the American Theater Guild / Broadway in Wichita. I think Carbon, you should be there.
Yes, we'll be out there repping for the dinner table, Wichita by EB. We're gonna, me and my daughter, who is an avid theater goer, we're gonna have all the inside scoop for you. Promise.
Should be a good show. All right, moving on. We got the Trussle Truths, sponsored by Trussle Media.
Yeah, so we just had Derek Sorrells on the show just a few minutes ago, but did anyone know that he has his, I guess, like another business? He has his own line of hot sauce. Do y'all know what the name of it is?
I do not.
It is the Keeper of the Flames.
That's right.
Oh.
So he has his own line of hot sauce. I think there's 5 or there actually might be 7 different variations of it with different peppers and everything. And we have 2 to 3 of them on the panel of our, chicken wing
rotation?
talent hot sauce challenge show on Live
Yes.
Local. So
Gosh.
yeah, but we do rotate them out.
Flashbacks.
So
I own some of those, and I had no idea they were his. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Very
he makes
cool.
those. We also have another company in town called Heat Mavericks that makes a very good local hot sauce. So here's a specialty one they did last year, or maybe it was this year. Rub some dirt on it, but they got some really good flavors.
All I could read on the label was dirt. I'm like, is that the flavor? It's a dirt flavor.
Rub some dirt on it.
Okay.
So
It's better in context.
if you're looking for some local hot sauce, we got some really good ones that are made local here. So the more you know.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we get Carbon on that hot sauce challenge.
Yes.
Sweating already.
Yeah,
next.
he has a good forehead for the sweat beads.
Yeah. He does.
Visually,
Yeah. Yeah, and Darren always wears a hat. He's always taking it off, and his glasses are fogging up, and it's a good time. Yeah.
Do you get PTSD from it, like post-traumatic sauce disorder?
Oh,
I do
Yes.
from the last one, and that was a good joke. But I did from the last one because that last sauce that we put Annette through was the hottest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
My eyes.
She's watering.
It was rough.
The thought.
It's
It was
horrible.
rough.
Well,
I actually
I mean,
went to
like-
Papa's afterwards and went and got a milkshake. It didn't even help.
Oh no! Oh my god!
Well, I'm in. Any excuse to hang out with you and Darren.
It's
Me and
fun.
Darren have been the dream
It's
team.
so
I've been
fun.
with Darren for. I've had like
Years.
4 or 5 events. Just this past month we've had like 5 events together.
Oh
it
no
seems like.
way!
So always a good time when Darren's in the building for sure.
Oh yeah.
Great.
All right.
Oh.
Things in the community. There are 3 openings that took place recently. The new McDonald's opened up at 37th and Mays Road. And then Auntie Anne's Jamba Juice, their second location, just opened up at 12938 East 21st Street North. And then this week, that's opening up is Gyoza Bar over at 6428 East Central. If you love all things gyoza, this is owned or started by the owners of, oh my gosh, I just went blank.
Yokohama.
Yes, Yokohama Ramen Izakaya. That's right next door to it. over at Normandy Center at Central and Woodlawn. So check that one out. Last thing in the community I want to mention, the Wichita Police Department had their annual holiday feast where they chose families in need to spend the holidays with. This year they hosted it at Pig and Pig Out Barbecue. Sergeant Kenneth Kimball, great guy. He was one of my best friend's neighbors back in the day. Him and other members of the WPD have been doing this event for 16 years or so, and they invite families that just going through some problems, issues, or whatever it might be, and have a big old feast. So big shout out to that whole team there. With that said, let's hear the weather. TKG.
Awesome, Eddie. Well, tomorrow we're going to have warmer weather than we did today, with a high ringing in at 57 degrees. And you know what that all means, folks.
It's 50 degrees.
It'll be the perfect day for you to swing by your favorite Hawaiian restaurant to pick up some cold macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, let's go.
It gets you some of that ooey gooey cold cheese pasta.
I need to get it. Maybe it does.
So for those of you at home are wondering why we're laughing about this, so Troy did a review of Hawaiian Brothers, and he started talking about the mac and cheese and why it was cold and why it was like off-putting or whatever. Little did he know that was actually a mac salad.
Mac salad, that's right. I had no idea. My boys, all 4 of them were with me. They were like, "Why is this mac and cheese cold?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know. It's weird."
Because it's not mac and cheese.
I can understand them saying it, but you have.
I just went with it. And I have had cold mac and cheese or mac salad before at Noble House, but it had been years ago. So I recently went back to Noble House, and yeah, it was good.
So on Friday, going back to the weather, it will be back down with a high of 42 and a low of 22, but the sun will be out, so that'll be nice. And then this weekend on Saturday, it will be 45 degrees on Saturday and 49 on Sunday. So basically, through this weekend, we're looking at highs in the 40s, which brings me to my next point. The only time you'll really want to eat cold mac and cheese will be tomorrow. So make sure and stop by Sharky's Bites or Noble House on the west side, or Crafted or Hawaiian Bros on the east side. Back to you, Eddie.
Thank you, TKG. All right.
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
For TKG. Why was the snowman in the vegetable store?
Why was the snowman in the vegetable store? I do not know.
He's just picking his nose.
Okay.
Huh? That's good stuff.
All right.
Now you know how it feels.
Before we go on to online shoutouts, I want to do a question of the day to y'all. How many of you eat wings with a fork?
Well, if they're boneless, I mean.
We're talking bone-in wings. Do you eat bone-in wings with a? Do you think it's weird?
Yeah.
Carbon. Do you use your hands? Or do you use a fork, a spoon? Hands. Troy.
Hands all day.
TKG. Don't lie.
You know what? This is absolute bullshit. First of all, I ate 9/10 of that wing with my bare manly hands, and then I take my fork and I'm just messing around with it, and you happen to be there when we're at Bella Vita. I'm not participating in this.
I think it was about 1/10.
I don't know if 9/10 might be an exaggeration, but we went to Bella Vita Bistro. They have an awesome buffet on Fridays, FYI. And we're all grabbing our plates, and I look over to my right, and I see TKG just like cutting into this wing with his fork. And I'm like, "Are you using a fork to eat a wing? Why can't you just pick it up and bite the meat off?"
Going for the George Costanza with Snickers.
Wait, did that happen in Seinfeld?
Yeah, he ate a Snickers.
He ate a Snickers with a knife and
fork.
That's more understandable than wings. All right. Online shout outs. Want a quick online shout from Austin Shoemate from our friends over at the Aaron and Austin Show. They have 2 live on location podcasts coming up December 30th at the Rusty Nail and on New Year's Eve, where they'll be at Red Shed Music Venue in Hutchinson. Give them a listen. It's the Aaron and Austin Show. They're just 2 dudes, as their intro says, helping promote Wichita and especially the ever growing local music scene. Micah Coates wants to shout out Velo Ace. He's a content creator that specializes in drone content. He actually puts out some awesome stuff, overlooking the whole city, has some stories behind it. You can find him on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all the things. Velo Ace, Veloace. Next up, Ben Hutton with Hutton Construction wants to shout out our own DJ Carbon. Yeah. I guess Carbon did one of their holiday parties recently, and Hutton said he did a fantastic job, kept the party lively, and wants to give a shout to our very own.
I don't know how true it is, but first out, shout to their whole team over at Hutton. They were all amazing. Roxanne and Jennifer, everybody that I worked with. I was told, this is 34 years running, I was told this is the most dancing that has ever happened at a Hutton party.
That's cool.
I was like,
That
I'll take
takes a
that pat on
gift.
the back. Yes.
So it's either really good music or like, did you go to the Punch Bowl and like pop a little,
Iced it.
little Una Vida tequila in there or something?
Man, they were turned up. So they did a whole like 80s, 90s rock theme.
Mhm.
So they had some of the managers were going through outfit changes as they were coming on to introduce different awards and stuff like that. It was pretty spectacular. When everyone goes all in like that. Even Ben, he had like the fake undershirt that had like the sleeve tattoos and the chest tats. I was like, oh wow,
nice.
this is amazing. This is was not ready for that. It was great.
Very cool. Kelly Lyons wants to shout out Nowhere Grill, who is doing a customer Christmas party this Sunday. I've never been. I haven't actually been before. It's located at Belle Plaine at 400 East 4th Street. Next up, the owner of the Monarch, Jennifer Ray, wants to real quick, I want to give Jen Ray a shout out. This past week, she celebrated 12 years in business.
Yes.
Nice.
So big props to them and what she's done. Especially, when she started, Delano wasn't as popular as it is now.
The cornerstone of it right there. She's
So shout out to her. She wants to shout out a cool business. What's odd is she did not even mention the name of the business or the location. So it's a nameless shout out, but I'm sure it's glorious. And I'm sure I might be like a hidden gem or a hole in the wall. Who knows?
She's got good taste.
Yeah. And then lastly, avid follower, reader. He follows all the bloggers. Jerry Payne. I love this guy. He says, I used to like DeWalt. That was his comment. And after engaging with him, he goes, he's moved on to Milwaukee Tools. So thanks, Jerry. We love you. Appreciate you.
Yes. Way to go, Jerry.
All right. What's good in Wichita? It's time to come up with something heartwarming they see in the community. Just a shout out, anything. I want to start things off. This past week, I should say for the past month, I found out my best friend's wife was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. They got 2 little kids, a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old, and I can't imagine everything they're going through. And I've set up some initiatives like a little GoFundMe, some meal trains, and the community really came out. Got a lot of messages from friends, family, just people who've gone through the same situation, shared their stories. Had some businesses that reached out, like Apollo Fermentations, Wichita Brewing Company. Sorry, I can't even talk right now. Just multiple businesses that reached out, multiple people. They really showed up and helped out. And my friend, she's starting her chemo treatment this week. So I want to send all my prayers to her and the world. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all the support. So shout out to everyone there. All right. TKG.
Awesome. Well, being at the Nutcracker this past weekend and seeing all of the volunteers, and I know we've all given shout outs to volunteers, but it's so much work. The people that make the costumes, the people that put the sets up, the people that are helping unload things at midnight, and all for free to bring arts to the community. And so not just the Nutcracker or not just Ballet Wichita, but a specific shout out to them, but to all these different shows, parents trying to support their kids. It's cool. So shout out to all you volunteers.
All right. Troy.
Yeah, so I want to shout out to those Pokemon vendors that we talked about earlier. There were a few of them there. They were giving out to the little kids. They were giving out presents. So they were like wrapped boxes, and so my four boys got some. They opened them up, and there were Pokemon packs in there that were actually hard to find that you can't really buy right now. And one of my youngest kid, my 5-year-old, had like this graded package card that was worth like $35. And so just for these vendors to give out stuff, knowing they're giving away stuff that costs them, money, was just it was kind of a nice surprise. And they were really, the Pokemon community, since I've been in it, is just really inviting and giving to one another. So shout out to them, and especially those vendors that were in Maze this past weekend. So
Carbon.
Well, you kind of alluded to it a little bit, but all the Santas, I'm just a huge fan of the holiday season. I've been known to strap on a Santa costume a time or two. But those spreading holiday cheer, we've got some amazing people that go all out. I've even got to hang out with some amazing Grinches over these past few weeks with all the events. And, I just got a very fond place in my heart for those that are spreading joy, especially around the kids that are just lifting up spirits and spreading the holiday cheer. There's nothing quite like it, and for those that take the time out of their busy, hectic schedules to do it and do it right, it's really appreciated. And it's the holiday season. I'm all about spreading the goodwill and cheer, and to see those that are taking the time out of their schedules to do it, especially for the kids, just warms my heart every time. Makes me. I'm probably going to get the costume out, and we're going to go do some good. I'm going up this week, so yeah.
Awesome. Annette, take us home.
Well, I think of the kids too this time of year. A couple of really good things that I want to share. So there's this group called Harbor House. And so for people like men who struggle with addiction or recovering from that process, recovering addicts are doing this fundraiser to help the kids who are connected to them. So like if you're an addict and you're in this program, the kids kind of get overlooked. They don't get all the love. So the people who've gone through the program and who have recovered, they're doing a fundraiser right now to help give the kids like a magical Christmas. And I just think that's so nice to think of them when, maybe times are a little different, a little tough without their parent being there by their side. And so just awesome to see. They had a big fundraiser this past week, and they're still doing stuff before Christmas. And then also Kansas Children's Service League, they had their Red Stocking breakfast this past weekend. I was one of their celebrity servers, but it was just so neat to see that. So if you've never heard of KCSL, it's an organization, a nonprofit in Wichita that helps support families, and their goal is to prevent child abuse and neglect. And so they had people there. It's a big fundraiser, a big breakfast they had. People come in, but also the families who've been a part of the program were there too. And Santa and Mrs. Claus were there. They read stories to the kids. It was just so beautiful. And I love that. I love the feeling this time of year and all the good vibes. So to see all of everyone's celebrations, from the good dancing on the dance floor to just the things to prop people up, it's just a beautiful time.
Before we end the episode, I want to mention something real quick. Annette, a few episodes ago, I don't even know how many episodes it was actually, you gave a shout out to Color the World Project. And then after that, we did a little Halloween costume contest, and the loser had to go donate some socks to Color the World Project after that. So I feel like everything in life comes full circle. And this past week, someone from the Color the World Project reached out, and they had a bunch of students make these cards from our friend Danielle as she starts her chemo treatment. So she sent me the cards, and it's like one of those like instant tearjerker moments where you start looking at the cards and the pictures. So thank you for that. Thank you for starting that little moment, Annette. And yeah, it's a beautiful moment. I gotta stop talking or I'll start crying again. With that said, to all my guests, thank you. Everybody here, thank you as well. Everyone at home, thank you. You've all been excused from the dinner table.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you at Christmas.
Yeah.